Hey there, welcome to Innovation Cafe. I'm Gary Schuster, your friendly neighborhood inventor, and today I want to share a really crucial insight for prolific inventors and for a bunch of other stuff. And it's simple. Problems and solutions do not arrive in the order you expect every time. It is really common to run across a solution, have some idea that there's going to be a problem at some point that needs that solution, remember it, and then when you run across the problem, you already have the solution. So problems and solutions do not arrive in that order. In fact, I think most of the time they don't arrive in that order, but also most of the time people don't recognize that they've discovered something important and that they should keep it in their head because there's a reason they're thinking about it. There's a solution in there for a problem that you have a clue that you're going to face. One great example, and I do presentations for kids, and I show them an ad that features the Muppets riding in a Toyota Highlander. And I would ask them, why do you think that they have Muppets riding in this car? They're trying to sell you a car. Why would that be? And typically they wouldn't know. Sometimes they'd have an idea. But I got the answer for you. It's because one day those consumers are going to buy a car. They may also find out that their parents are looking for a car and start bugging their parents. Oh, you should really get the one with the Muppets. That one was awesome. And that is a very tangible example of a problem arriving after the solution. The ad gives you the solution, and later on you have the problem. What kind of car should I buy? Boom, you already have the answer. So effective advertising and effective inventing have that in common. Many great ideas start with a solution, and only later do you discover the problem. Now, sometimes it happens pretty quickly. Now, let's take a look at someone who you might not have heard of, but I'll bet you have some of their invention in your house, Spencer Silver, who is a 3M scientist. He was asked, please create a super strong adhesive. But instead, he ended up with a really weak glue that didn't dry out very quickly. And he didn't recognize the importance of it. But another scientist at 3M, Art Fry, figured it out. He realized that the weak adhesive wasn't a failure to solve the other problem. It was a success in solving a new problem. How do you attach things temporarily without damaging the thing you're attaching it to? Of course, the Post-it. Boom. You have a solution, then you figure out the problem it solves. Same thing in terms of advertising. Coca-Cola didn't start out as we're your solution to thirst. If you're thirsty, Coca-Cola, that's what you want. It started out as a medicinal tonic. Early iterations of Coca-Cola actually had cocaine in them. So it really was medicinal, for good or bad, I'm not going to opine, but it did have medication in it. And it wasn't until later that they decided, it'd be better if people want to buy our drink because they're thirsty. There's a huge market of thirsty people and a much smaller market of people looking for medicinal tonics. So that became the marketing hook. We'll quench your thirst. The problem found the solution. The problem was there already. People were thirsty. The solution was there already. Coca-Cola does a pretty good job quenching thirst. But no one had connected them. So it's a perfectly good example of how invention and advertising do not tend to happen in sequence. Now, why does the order actually matter? Because starting with a solution can help you uncover problems that no one has realized need to be solved yet. When you create something groundbreaking, sometimes the problem isn't visible until people start using your innovation. Let's take another example. I'm going to call it a hook and loop fastener, but the trademark name for the Velcro brand is Velcro, which is how most of us know it. But I have had a couple of patent examiners get not too happy with me for using Velcro rather than hook and loop fastener because they want to respect the trademark. Velcro was invented by somebody who simply noticed that there were burrs sticking to his dog's fur. That doesn't sound like some huge breakthrough, does it? It wasn't immediately clear to him what problem it solved. His solution was creating the hook and loop fastener, but the problem it solved wasn't immediately clear. It took time for people to figure out that, oh, we can close shoes with this. We can replace buttons with this. We can put glue on the back of it and stick it to the wall, then stick other things to the wall on the Velcro. It found problems as it went. So having the solution out there became literally a solution in search of problems. And don't let people say, oh, you're just a solution in search of a problem. No, that's great, because people do have problems they need solved. And if you have a great solution, let other people take some of the creative work over from you and figure out what problems it solves. Think about how the microwave came to be. They didn't attempt to solve the problem of food doesn't heat up fast enough in an oven. They were trying to solve the problem of how do we understand microwaves and what can we use them for, when one of the scientists noticed that a chocolate bar had melted near the microwave emitter and the microwave oven was invented. In advertising, which is weirdly similar to inventing a lot of the time, you tell a story. A great story can reveal a problem that the audience didn't know they had. Let's take a look at Dyson. They didn't say, we got a vacuum cleaner. Instead, they told their potential consumers, you might have a problem you don't realize you have. Vacuums lose suction over time. They're not very efficient. There's a better way to do it. And maybe you need to think about that better way. And all of a sudden, a bunch of consumers globally started thinking, maybe I do have a problem with my vacuum cleaner efficiency, and maybe I should buy a Dyson. Brilliant, right? Now, don't wait for a problem to appear before innovating. That's a huge mistake. If you wait for the problem to appear, oftentimes people will have already come up with a solution, because there are people out there who notice the solutions as they come past them, and then when the problem appears, boom, they do it. In a lot of ways, the hardest part of inventing is defining the problem you're trying to solve. The easiest part, although it's not easy, but it's easier, is actually solving the problem. Finding the problem is something that requires as much creativity or more than solving the problem. When advertising, you want to create some emotional resonance. You want to create a sense of discovery, let people connect it to their needs. The same thing with electric cars. Electric cars were introduced at around the same time that internal combustion engine cars were. They've been technology that we've known about for a long time. But eventually, some car companies started doing it really well, and people realized, oh, I have a problem. I don't like how my internal combustion engine functions. I don't like how it is for the environment. Maybe I don't like how loud it is. And they switched to electric cars. Problems and solutions don't always show up in the order you expect. In fact, a lot of the time, the solution is hiding in plain sight, and it's the problem that you need to figure out. Sometimes the solution reveals a problem. Sometimes the problem reveals a solution. The trick is to keep experimenting, keep exploring, keep creating. Whether you're building the next big thing or you're advertising a regular thing, do not limit yourself to the traditional, the problem comes first mindset. Instead, approach it like a kid would. You play, you create, ideas take shape, you come up with some solutions, and maybe you don't know what the problem is, but eventually those solutions have value. The world's best innovations, the world's most effective ads start with an exciting solution that finds its purpose along the way. So with that, I want to encourage you, stay creative, use your creativity to improve the lives of the people around you and the people on this planet. We're all in this together. This has been Innovation Cafe. I'm Gary Schuster, and thank you so much for spending your time with me. Catch you next time.